everybody. Welcome to Willie's American Guitars video thingy. So like us on Facebook, check us out on Instagram, and follow us, will you? Follow us. So this is my guitar, my personal guitar, and this is a 1940 018. The 018 was a rather humble model. What's interesting, you know, there's not much wood difference between a O, double O, triple O, or dreadnought guitar. But in like the 50s, 60s, 70s, 018s were kind of the cheapest instrument you could get into. And what I found interesting is that as I traveled across the country, I would say, hey, how much is that 018, that 018? And it's usually owned by dealers and people that have been into the marketplace a long time. They seem to love the 018. There's something about the size of this guitar. It fits easy. The mahogany body is easy to wear, easy to play, and it doesn't interrupt your singing. They're just the perfect plenty loud. You're going to get a lot more volume and a lot more thump out of a bigger guitar, but these little O's, they're fantastic guitars, and I love mine. And look at this. You can see how scratched up and nicked up it is. I have put probably 4 or 5 new bridges on this guitar. If you're going to own an old guitar, you should expect, like an old guitar, to be throwing a little money into it now and then, fixing cracks and stuff. But there's still a joy to owning a vintage guitar. Like our friend here, this 1931 Martin or our 1949 Martin. But old Martins are a pleasure. Here's some important things about Martin. Martin in 1926 started making steel strings official. All guitars were ordered with steel strings prior to 1926. Prior to that, you had to special order steel strings. They all came with gut strings until 1926, and then steel strings were standardized. That is the start of the golden era of Martin. So then in 1938, another pretty important thing happened, and I'm going to show you with a visual here. Martin took the X brace and they moved it closer to the bridge. And so when it's pre-38, it's called forward shifted. What they mean by that is the brace is closer to the sound hole. And so what that does is allow this part of the top to vibrate more. It becomes sort of an air pump. So if I were to play this guitar and it had smoke inside, you'd see little puffs of smoke come out. It has a forward shifted X, and that allows the bridge here to vibrate more. Now, the problem there is back in the day, in the 30s, bands were getting bigger, audiences were getting bigger, and everybody put steel strings on, heavier strings on, and that was creating some problems with their lifetime warranty. What the fix was to simply move that back closer to the bridge, not forward shifted. So the X brace and its location has a lot to do with its sound. They also, a few years later, in 1944, stopped using scallop braces. 38 is also, or 39's the last year they had a wider nut, and they made a 1 11/16 nut, the standard nut through most of the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s was 1 11/16. Same with Gibson, same with Fender. That was kind of the ideal nut width. So those 3 items, 38, the bridge moved back. 39, the neck got small. 44, they stopped carving the braces out and didn't scallop them. They made it more standardized. Again, they did this because people were using heavier and heavier strings to make the guitar louder because they needed to reach the back of these large rooms. Now, that brings us forward to today. I'm going to put my 00 down and pick up this 00. This is a brand new 00 Martin, and today's brand new 00 Martin has all those pre-38 features from the golden era. It has the 1 11/16 or 1 3/4 neck. That, by the way, is 1/16 of an inch wider than 1 11/16. It makes a difference, but it's just 1/16 of an inch. And with these also, we have now forward shifted. So they went back to moving the X away from the bridge because people just aren't using 16 gauge strings on their guitars anymore. They also went back to the third item, which was scalloping the braces. That is, they shave or scallop out the braces and allows the top to vibrate. Loud, proud. These are brand new guitars, and I have a couple of these that just came in. We finally, ordering at the beginning of the pandemic, are starting to get our Martin guitars back in, and we are really happy to see this. This has all the pre-38 features. And these guitars, whether it's a double O, single O, triple O, or D, all those 18 levels are about the same price. And if memory serves, it's about $2,600 bucks. Don't quote me, but it's right around there. I've got a few of these in, and these smaller bodied Martins, we've got a couple of double O's, single O's, and these smaller bodied Martins are for people that want to have something you can sing over. This mahogany tends to be lighter in color than rosewood and lighter in tone than rosewood, and these mahogany bodied guitars record really well. The sound of it isn't overbearing. With darker guitars, the bass gets slid into the mix and suddenly the guitar gets lost. With these smaller bodied guitars made of mahogany, you can hear it in the mix. They mix in better. They also are easier to sing over for a guy standing and singing, and they are by far easier to wear than a dreadnought is because it just kind of fits. They fit women better too, and that's something a lot of women will say they prefer this double O body size. Now, one last one I'm going to show you, and that is this one. We ordered these with a special Adirondack top and what's called sinker mahogany back and sides. Sinker mahogany is 100-year-old wood that was found at the bottom of a river. Yeah, I'll say that again. Sinker mahogany found at the bottom of a river. Back when they would transport logs, logging people in the Central America would bring them down the river and then they'd transport them up to the United States by boat. Some of those sunk. As the log jams came up, some of them lodged into the river. Well, now some smart person has gone and dug up a lot of these logs, and a big log will make quite a few guitars, but it is probably your last chance in this decade, your last chance to get wood that was fallen somewhere in the early 1900s to 1930s and brought up. And that old wood, these big old trees, have a certain character that is complex, okay? I'm going to just play these two next to each other. So with that, you're going to pay a little extra for that. Those options are about $1,200–$1,500 more to get that rare wood. So, Martin, 00 size. That was mine. This can be yours. That's all for now.